need a better theme song. Welcome back to another episode of I'm King Ginger Live. It is great to be back today. I saw this clip of Senator Josh Hawley, and he's interviewing Ted Sarandos at Congress. So we are absolutely 100% for sure going to talk about that. But I have some other things in my Twitter bookmarks. If you're in the chat, hello and welcome to another episode. Thanks for joining us. We are live everywhere, and let's see. Let me pull up my Twitter bookmarks, and we will get into the topic of today's show. Let's start off with like something a little lighter that's more fun before we get into the Senator Hawley, Netflix, LGBTQ, trans sort of stuff. That's a little bit heavier. These Anthropic videos, for those of you guys don't know, Anthropic is ChatGPT's competitor. They make Claude. Many would argue, probably rightfully so, that Claude is actually better than ChatGPT currently. But, it just kind of depends on what you use what for. But ChatGPT is going to be introducing ads. So I imagine these are Super Bowl commercials. That would be my thought. Whether or not they decided to spend the money on a Super Bowl commercial or not, I don't know. But I thought we could watch these ads because they're insanely brilliant. And they do kind of hint at sort of the problems of having ads in your OpenAI. Or your AI. Your AI and advertising, just not the best mix. And Claude has kind of gone onto this sort of head on. So let's watch these while we're waiting for people to hop in the chat and say hello. These are pretty incredible, if you ask me.
I feel like I'm just going in circles. Is my essay making a clear argument?
Absolutely.
By the way, I love how annoying. I absolutely love how annoying the AI bot is here, and agrees with everything the person says. It's kind of a subtle jab at the overwhelming sycophant sort of nature of ChatGPT. But
Your point of view is fresh, well thought out, and rich in research.
I didn't use too many quotes.
but is it though?
Absolutely not. Your quotes help build a thought-provoking piece. From our previous conversation, I've noticed that the deadline for this essay is due today. So why not cherish this unforgettable occasion with Luna Memento jewelry, with 10% off charms this weekend?
What?
Place your order today for free personalized engraving.
Ads are coming to AI, but not to Claude. That's a great ad. I do hope Claude, doesn't decide to do ads one day, because these won't age well. But for now, it's pretty great. And I think a majority of the use of Claude is for coding and developers, so it's more behind the scenes back-end API. So ads wouldn't really make sense, so they could kind of make this case. But I love Claude. It is a fantastic AI. Let's do one more. Let's drop one more in the chat. Let's see. Is there one I haven't seen? I haven't seen this one. It's called Deception.
So, what do you think?
Absolutely. That's such a fun and creative business idea. You've got something really special here. Getting started can feel daunting. I can make a step-by-step mini business plan. Do you want me to do that?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Here's some steps you can take. 1. Research. Really get to know your audience. 2. Think of a catchy name and start your social presence early. 3. New businesses often struggle with cash flow, so try Quick Dash Payday Loans because girl bosses need CEO money quick. 400% APR rates may vary, possibly doubling or tripling without notice.
What?
Would you like to make a quick credit check?
It's a great ad, right? Like, that's a really phenomenal, like, that is a really great ad. It goes after the competition so well and so perfectly. Ads are coming to AI. It doesn't say ChatGPT, but for sure it does. We're gonna have next week we're gonna do a post Super Bowl commercial roundup. There's already some great ones that I've seen, and we're gonna go through that. But I think right now, well, let me check, make sure that I don't have anything else in my bookmarks for you guys. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Let's do this. We're still waiting for people to come. This is baffling to me. This is baffling to me. And this is Jordan Peterson. He's being interviewed. It says Janko Nation. I don't know if this is the person that actually made this clip or whatnot. If this is a podcast he's on, I don't know who this guy is. Unfortunately, maybe somebody knows. But Jordan Peterson, he's asked some pretty simple questions, and he fumbles like a complete, just a complete fail. It's just a complete fail, embarrassingly so.
What do you think a man needs to be able to go to heaven?
By the way, I love the music in the background here. How you'd think he's going to give this really thoughtful, incredible answer that's inspiring. You know, this is going to be an inspiring, sort of motivational, this is how you get to heaven from Jordan Peterson. But look at how traumatized he is by this question.
What?
And then the look up to the sky as if he's looking for an answer, and he's thinking thoughtfully.
What do you mean? What do you mean by heaven?
Heaven.
What do you mean by heaven? Holy cow, Jordan Peterson! Can we just stop being a postmodernist for like 1 minute? What do you mean? What do you mean by heaven?
Is God's home, so it's not our choice.
Truth.
Yeah, truth.
Sure.
What truth? Yours or God's? What is the truth to the kingdom of heaven?
Now, this is the easy answer. The first question was an easy answer. The answer is Jesus. The second answer is also Jesus. He's the way, the truth, the life. No one comes to the Father but through me. So he could have just said Jesus twice and looked pretty confident, and he would have been right. And also, he would have appeared as very smart too. But he doesn't.
Well, it isn't that your truth is meaningless. It's that...
It isn't that your truth is meaningless. It's that... And now, to be fair, I don't know if this is poorly edited. My assumption is it's not. But it could be manipulated. But we're going to assume it's not for the sake of this.
See, this is where the words get tricky, because modern people...
What words? Jesus, truth? Modern people tend to
truth
think
is
that...
a set of descriptions of facts. But that's not what the truth is. The truth is, for example,
Jesus.
The truth is the process by... The truth is your willingness to make manifest the process that enables you to learn and progress.
I mean, he just Kamala Harris. He Kamala'd that entire quote. It's unbelievable. Easiest answer in the world. How do you get to heaven, and what is true? Jesus, Jesus, the precious Jesus, like that. Like that's the answer, and he just completely fumbles this. I said he fumbled it like a a man, like an illegal immigrant standing before ICE, is how he fumbled it. And so I thought that was kind of funny. And I thought, what if, for example, ChatGPT actually gave me, what if ChatGPT actually gave me like a top 10 of fumbles, like this. And so here are the top 10, in my David Letterman. Here's the top 10. I'm sure what is the setup here? The setup is Jordan Peterson stumbles like a liberal dodge. Number 1. Well, I should do number 10. Well, I already did it, but it doesn't matter. Number 1 is number 10. Stutters. He stumbles like a liberal dodging taxes. He fumbles words like a vegan explaining protein. Jordan Peterson, when asked about Jesus, trips over his tongue like a feminist on facts. Jordan Peterson, when he's asked about Jesus, mumbles like a politician without a teleprompter. Jordan Peterson, when he's asked about Jesus, hesitates like a thief spotting a cop. Jordan Peterson, when he's asked about Jesus, babbles like a stoner mid-munchies. Jordan Peterson, when he's asked about Jesus, flounders like a fish in a shark tank. Jordan Peterson, when he's asked about Jesus, stammers like a beta in an alpha chat. I don't really understand that one. Number 9, Jordan Peterson, when he when he asks about Jesus, Jordan Peterson sounds like a glitchy robot mid-meltdown. And number 10, drum roll please, Jordan Peterson, when he's asked about Jesus, chokes harder than a socialist on success. And that's your top 10, everybody. I just thought that is unbelievable. That's actually great work by Grok. All 10 of them, I would say, would be fairly accurate. But if you're asking how I got ChatGPT to do that, I asked asked Grok to become as based as possible to answer these questions, and those were the results he did. So, yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it was worth a shot. So, let's see. What else in the bookmark? Anything else in the bookmarks? Let's see. This is kind of funny since we're talking about AI. Dick Durbin, Senator Dick Durbin. This is long deleted. He actually used an AI generated image to show the shooting of Alex Peretti. Like on the House floor. This was real. He actually shared this, and he has since deleted it, wisely so. So, anyway, let me share this on X real quick. All right. So, okay. So, let's see. Let's get into the heart of the show today, shall we? Let's do that. And so this is Senator Josh Hawley. Guys, bear with me on this because
thank you, Mr. Chair.
I actually think Ted Sarandos makes a great point. He makes great points. Hawley makes great points. But sometimes I think Hawley is a complete moron here, and we'll get into it. But let's go through this. I think you guys are going to enjoy this quite a lot. So, Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos, he's being questioned before Congress because he's trying to do this deal where he buys Warner Brothers, and so he was asked to come and speak before Congress. Hawley gets a chance and wants to ask him about all the trans stuff with children, but before getting to that point, he brings up some other points that we're going to get into, and I think it's pretty important and worth talking about, especially if you're a filmmaker in the film industry. You definitely want to know what's going on here.
Chairman, for calling this hearing. Welcome to the witnesses, Mr. Sarandos.
Senator Josh Hawley, by the way, is a senator of Missouri.
If I could just start with you, let's continue to talk a little bit about the labor impacts here, if we could. How many U.S.-based employees does Netflix currently employ? Do you know?
About 10,000.
Yeah. What about in production roles?
The volume's kind of low, huh? Let me see if I can pull the volume up a little bit.
Well, it's a fluid.
Still kind of low. Let me try to fix this real quick.
Number, but we've had about 155,000.
This should be good enough. It's cranked up all the way, and I put some gain on it. Let's start this over.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for calling this hearing. Welcome to the witnesses, Mr. Sarandos. If I could just start with you, let's continue to talk a little bit about the labor impacts here, if we could. How many U.S.-based employees does Netflix currently employ? Do you know?
About 10,000.
Yeah. What about in production roles?
It's a fluid number, but we've had about 155,000 production jobs.
How about now?
On our originals. At any given time, I don't know the number exactly, sir. I can follow back.
Okay, so he's asking. This is important. He's asking about labor. How many jobs does Netflix create? So with the company, about 10,000, and then production jobs, that varies just from case to case. This is important because Hawley should know that each film, each director, each actor, each production is its own separate business. So it's not directly the Netflix itself is not hiring individual cast members, directors, that sort of thing. They're hiring, they're funding the production of these movies which run as a separate organization, and it's not directly Netflix related. So.
With your staff, though.
Warner Brothers, how many U.S. production jobs?
I don't have the exact number, but it would be, I would think, in the 8,000 range.
Okay. Here's my question. If this merger goes through, what's your projection about the amount of domestic production, say 2 years from now? Is it going to be static? Is it going to decline?
Our production is going to increase.
Domestic production.
Domestic production
Employment.
is going to increase. Most of our production is domestic, and it will continue to increase. We've recently forecast our content spend, independent of this deal, to grow to $20 billion.
First off, holy cow, that's a lot of money. $20 billion? $20 billion for production? Listen, you're not doing something right. I'm just going to say it. You're not doing something right if your production has to grow to that level. And because with all the technology you have nowadays, the ability for pretty much a small team of people to actually produce a really great cinematic production, the cost of productions they should be going down as technology increases. And yeah, AI and all that sort of stuff, they should be going down. So the fact that $20 billion, and I just don't see that volume of output as you would expect from Netflix on that thing. So
that's a combination of licensing, producing. Now those licensing dollars compel production as well. That's why it's hard to get an exact number.
That's what I was talking about when he said those licensing dollars compel production, which means if he licenses a project from a filmmaker, that filmmaker takes that licensing money and then goes and makes another movie. So that licensing deal compels the production. So it's hard. It's a hard number for an organization, a platform, to really be able to answer. It's like, how many people have started a business and have a successful business because of Facebook? Well, a lot of people have started a business because of Facebook, and they have a successful business because of Facebook. But it's not exactly an easy answer. It's not exactly an easy way to.
Let me show you the data here about U.S. production recently.
This is an amazing flop by Hawley. He had an opportunity here. I want you guys to see if you notice this.
It's the red line
Ted
here,
does,
starting
Ted
from in 2021. You can see it is pretty much straight downward. There's been massive shift in production, as I think as Senator Schiff was alluding to just a moment ago, massive shift in.
So 2020, obviously, down here is COVID. And then after COVID, it sprang up, and then it's just gone to crap. However,
production overseas to other foreign jurisdictions, leaving the United States. So will you commit to increasing domestic United States production and domestic United States production jobs? Did I hear you just say you would?
Senator Hawley, absolutely. It's in our business plan. It's in our long-term operating DNA. I will point out, sir, respectfully.
Here it is. Here it is.
That chart is Los Angeles.
Yeah, but it is Los Angeles, but if you look at the data, it is reflective. This reflects all of U.S. production. U.S. production is not going up, right?
But some of these jobs have moved.
No, wait, he's looking. Okay, so Senator Josh Hawley, I believe is he's conservative, conservative senator. He's looking. He has a chart of production jobs in Los Angeles. And he has a prime opportunity to basically use this as a point to say, oh, Los Angeles, LA, Hollywood is destroying the entire film industry. Like, he has the opportunity to do that. But he's not doing that. Because he pulled up this chart and saying, look, this is domestic production. And Ted Sarandos rightfully calls it out. Because I'm sure if anybody knows how hard it is to film in California, it's Ted. And so Ted calls this out. And Hawley argues with him.
These jobs have moved to
but the overall numbers are going down. And this is exactly the concern of labor. And without objection, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to enter into a statement for the record from the Teamsters, who have major concerns.
So he just goes, yeah, but it's the same. And it's...
about this deal, as does, frankly, pretty much every segment of labor, Mr. Sarandos. And what they all say is they're.
So here we go. I want to, let's go back. I want to make sure you guys understand what's happening here. So Hawley is talking about the Teamsters, which is the film unions, and how they're worried about the amount of production jobs that have gone down. And so if you have Netflix and Warner Brothers merging together, the amount of jobs are going to be even less. So that's what's happening here.
Who have major concerns about this deal, as does, frankly, pretty much every segment of labor, Mr. Sarandos. And what they all say is they're worried that you're going to cut residuals, which is effectively payments. You're going to cut production jobs. So let's just go through a few commitments here. Will you commit to using union labor for all domestic shoots?
Whoa. Whoa. Right? Okay. First off, what's so crazy about this to me, and Senator Josh Hawley, if you happen to be listening, I doubt you are, but if you happen to be listening and you'd like to have a conversation about this, the reason that chart behind you is going down is because of the unions. Like, this is very simple, very clear cut. That the jobs are going down because of unions. Wall Street Journal just had an article about this just the other day, and they were talking about how because of so Atlanta went and put all this money into building up what they called the Hollywood of the South, right? So Atlanta put all this money into all these studios. Tyler Perry's there, a bunch of studios are there, Marvel films there, like just Disney films. So many big productions film in the Atlanta area. And so what happened was, and the reason that happened was because the state of Atlanta was giving all this sort of tax incentives for the budgets, right? And so what the unions found out about all this money they were getting from tax incentives, and they demanded more money. And so now, because a lot of the money are going to unions, it's not staying in the state. A lot of the people who come to Atlanta to work, they're working for 1 or 2 gigs, then they're leaving and they're going back to California or wherever they live. But ultimately, it's not the unions have sucked up so much of that tax incentive money that it's actually been a negative economic impact on the area, because the studios are paying the unions. They're not able to reinvest their money into more studios and all sorts of different things to really help sustain that Atlanta film culture. And so Josh Hawley, the conservative Republican from Missouri, with the stats behind him that shows the production jobs going down because of union rules, is asking Ted Sarandos now to commit to more union gigs. This is insane. It doesn't make any sense at all. And it's crazy. And it shows that Hawley doesn't understand what's going on here. He wants to be a pro-union guy, but he also wants to be more domestic productions kind of guy. And you can't have both. If you want the most amount of jobs, production jobs in the country the world has ever seen, you have to reduce the amount of unions. Now, this is going to come together again when we get to the LGBTQ stuff.
We do use union labor.
Will you commit to using it in the future for all of your domestic shoots if this deal goes through?
Senator Hawley, we do use, this is the most unionized industry in America, and
it's the most unionized industry in America that somehow, for some reason, is struggling from a labor shortage.
use union labor on all
Not a labor shortage, but a work shortage for the
our production.
And you're going forward. I'm looking for a commitment.
You have my
He's looking for a commitment. Hey, you see the way this graph is trending? I'm asking you to continue that trend by adding more union gigs.
Will you commit to a 45-day or longer theatrical release window for major Warner Brothers films?
Senator Hawley, I just said that I would do that under oath, so yes.
Good. And will you commit to fairly compensating your workers in the industry with residual payments?
Well,
this is a completely different side gig, but the residual payment discussions comes down to the unions, right? So the union, because it's not like Netflix, an independent filmmaker, they make this agreement. The guy that did Sinners was able to do this, by the way. He was able to basically claim ownership of the IP for Sinners, and he gets a 2-film deal, and the studio owns the IP for a certain amount of time, a short amount of time, and then it reverts back to the director and writer of that film. And so that on an individual basis, you can do that. You can make that decision to, hey, these are the deals we're going to cut. But when you're working with unions, you can't make those sort of deals. That's a massive problem. So Hawley, the things that he wants Ted Sarandos to do cannot be done with the unions. Now, Ted has his hands tied, unfortunately, to the unions. As he says, this is the most unionized career in America. So he has to kind of like bend the knee to everything that the unions are fighting and arguing for. But all of these questions that Hawley are asking him could be solved by getting rid of the unions. This is really important. If you're in the chat and you're with me, let me know everything's working in the stream all right and you're getting everything good. But this is insanely critical.
Our top of market payment has been Netflix business philosophy since we started operating over 25 years
listen,
ago.
What you have been routinely accused of compressing and reducing residuals, it's one of the biggest objections to labor to this deal. So let's see if you can lay that to rest today. Will you commit to full residuals?
Senator Hawley,
what even does full residuals mean? I don't think Ted can properly answer this question, because residuals should be a film by film basis and a property by property basis. Like this idea of, well, will you commit to residuals, full residuals, just broadly over all your films? It's crazy. Any businessman worth their salt would never do that. That's like, imagine you're sitting before Congress, and Senator Hawley said, "Hey, will you commit to paying your employees $100 an hour?" full stop. All your employees $100 an hour. No, you're not gonna answer that question. Now, are there employees that you have that might be worth $100 an hour? Yeah, and we could deal with that employee on a case-by-case basis. But you can't do it. You can't just do it from the floor here and just a broad oversweeping statement.
I would like to tell you this is a very complicated answer because we prepay.
That's usually on the way to no. That's usually a way of saying no. So I'm looking.
I don't think Hawley knows anything about this business whatsoever. Most conservatives don't. But he does not look good
For
here.
yes.
Senator Hawley, I understand this is not a yes or no answer.
It kind of is, though.
It kind of
No, it's
isn't
not.
because and we were going to sit down with
It's
the
actually
unions
not.
You're disappointing me.
starting in the next few days, sir. We're sitting down with the unions.
So he's in the middle of having negotiations with the unions, and then Hawley wants a statement on record that he's going to provide full residuals to the unions. He's forcing the unions to have an upper hand in negotiations here. It's really crazy work on Ted's part. And sorry, not on Ted's part, but on Josh Hawley's part. It's really crazy work on Josh Hawley's part.
For new contract talks that start actually in 3 days.
That's a complicated, long no. I would really hope it would be yes.
Okay. Are you asking me to commit to residuals in the traditional form? Because I don't think that applies in many cases. That's why I'm getting there.
All right. Well, I think you've got some work to do on that, Mr. Sarandos, and I would hope that you'd reconsider your position. Before my time expires, I want to ask you about something else related to
All right. So now we're going to get another issue.
children. Why is it that so much of Netflix content for
And this is where actually Sarandos looks pretty terrible. But also, the unions come back into play. Hawley doesn't know this, but
children promotes a transgender ideology? Almost half of your content for I'm talking about minor children now. I'm not talking about teenagers. Minor children promotes a transgender ideology agenda. I was just looking at the data here from your various series. And what concerns me is just 2 days ago, a jury in New York awarded a former transitioner $2 million because she said that her psychologists and others pressured her they pushed on her an ideology that proved to be extremely detrimental. I'm sure you know that in the UK, the National Health Service in the UK has said that they're not going to perform transgender surgeries or any longer so-called gender-affirming care for minors, including in counseling, because it is so incredibly detrimental. Our own HHS has come.
This is a great question, by the way. I would love for Ted to be able to answer this question. All of this talking
for
is
similar findings this past year. Yet if you turn on Netflix, you'll find that an enormous amount, and I say this as a parent with 3 young children, an enormous amount of your children's programming has this ideology and agenda in it.
Okay. So, all right. So look, this is a problem. We know Netflix is trash. They LGBTQ everything. They trans everything, even the children's program for, very young children all the way down to nursery school. It's really bad, really terrible. And so Ted Sarandos, now he gets to ask this question to Ted Sarandos. And Ted
is this
Sarandos
an advocacy position for Netflix? Is this an ideological commitment you have? I mean, why is this?
Senator Hawley, Netflix has no political agenda of any kind.
First off, there's no neutrality. Netflix obviously has a political agenda. They made a deal with the Obama administration, and Obama, I believe, have equity in the Obamas have equity in Netflix. So yes, they do have a political position. I guarantee you, they do. The only if I was Ted Sarandos here, and you wanted to hold that case that you don't have a political position, you should say, have you listened? Like, we had Joe Rogan do comedy. We had Dave Chappelle do comedy. We stood with Dave Chappelle against the transgender sort of movement. And, it still creates a problem because he's still making the trash for kids. But I know why he's making the trash for kids. Assuming, I mean, obviously Ted Sarandos he's Ted Sarandos. So, I'm not saying that he has a moral fiber in his body. However, there's a reason.
I would tell you that.
Well, then
I want to save it for last because I want to bring up the
is
evidence.
your children's program so full of this highly sexualized, highly controversial agenda? I don't understand it. It seems strange to me.
Respectfully, sir, it's because it's inaccurate. We have millions of hours of children's programming.
You're saying it's not there. You don't have trans. You don't feature trans characters, trans storylines, trans themes. It's not in your programming.
I'm saying we feature a wide variety of stories and programs to meet a wide variety of people.
It's a terrible answer by Ted Sarandos, by the way.
Taste,
why is almost half of it? Why does almost half of your children's program feature this
Why are there so many bots in my Kick chat right now? Go away,
highly
bots.
controversial, highly sexualized material? That just seems strange to me. It can't possibly be a reflection of the population.
Senator Hawley, I don't have any idea where that number would come from or what that would be. I don't believe that's been your personal experience, but I can't speak to that.
Well, what do you mean you don't think it's been my personal experience? You don't think that I monitor what my children watch on your... Here's what I tell you what my personal experience is, since you bring it up. My personal experience is that my 3 children, I can't let them watch anything they want on Netflix. I can't let them watch anything on Netflix unless I preview it, because I don't have...
By the way, that's the right answer. The dads are supposed to be the censors. The dads are the ones that are supposed to be previewing content for their children. Hawley's right on
confidence in what's on your platform. I don't know what they're going to encounter, and I tell you what, I don't want my kids being pushed an agenda about their sexuality or gender identity when I have not had the opportunity first to discuss it with them and to form them in that. And I, frankly, on behalf of parents around the country, it offends me that Netflix is pushing this content at parents in what seems to be a very coordinated, thought through, planned out agenda.
I do wish there was more back and forth between Ted and Hawley here, and Hawley wasn't using this as a podium, because this is a really great opportunity to really get to the bottom of it.
In a way that, frankly, I think undermines parents, certainly undermines me and my wife. We have to watch every show beforehand before we can let our kids watch it. Now, I don't know. That seems pretty concerning to me. I know you make a gob of money on it, and maybe that's the answer. But it just seems to me that it's a disservice to the parents of this country, particularly given what's happening with our youth on this subject.
Senator, if I may answer, like I said, we have millions of hours of content on Netflix at any given time. We have state-of-the-art tools for you to manage those choices for your children and to block any title that you might be offended by for any reason.
Yeah. You still put it up there. But the tools are not the censor. The father's the censor. But yeah, I mean, this guy's obviously pushing an agenda, and I want to see if I can find I want to show you why. Let's see. Okay, here it is. This is from the Academy of Motion Pictures. This is why. So this is the Motion Picture Association of America, massive pro-union organization. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger for everyone. Okay. So this is their standards for representation and inclusion. The Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Science Representation and Inclusion standards for Oscars eligibility in the Best Picture category are designed to encourage equitable representation on and off screen to better reflect the diverse global population. So obviously the TV shows for children aren't part of the Oscars. But the same sort of thinking it's throughout. It is throughout the entire Hollywood process. The unions affect everything. So submitting confidential Academy inclusion standards form raise and meeting you got to meet 2 out of the 4 standards that'll be required for the film to be eligible for Best Picture consideration. In addition, the film must complete the Best Picture expanded theatrical run criteria to qualify. So there has to be a theatrical run as well. But a film can achieve this standard by meeting the criteria on at least one of the following areas: lead or significant supporting actors from underrepresented racial or ethnic groups. This may, at least one of the lead actors or significant supporting actors submitted for Oscar consideration from an underrepresented racial or ethnic group. This may include African American, Black, East Asian, Hispanic, Indigenous, Middle Eastern, Pacific Islander, South Asian, and Southeast Asian. General ensemble cast. At least 30% of all actors not submitted for Oscar consideration are from at least 2 underrepresented groups that may include women, racial or ethnic group, LGBTQ+, or people with cognitive or physical disabilities who are deaf or hard of hearing. So 30% of all your Oscar nominations have to come under these 2, have to form at least 2 representative groups. So you can have a deaf person and a black person. You can have a woman and a black person. I mean, like you got, you get, or you can have LGBTQ. You have a gay trans person, and you meet both of them, which is exactly what they did for Orange Is the New Black and some of the other stuff they do. But this is why, by the way, this is why every time you see a Netflix a Netflix show, this is why there's always, and I believe this is the same for Emmys. I know we're talking about shows a lot, but let me see, Emmy requirements for eligibility inclusion. Let's see. Music, Emmy eligible titles, LGBT. Emmys might not have it up anymore. Hold on, I'm looking to pull it up. I don't see it there. Contest rules. How many pages is it? 156 pages. Let's see. Let's see. They will be requested. Okay, so here's just for daytime, but just to show you that I'm doing the same thing, and I'm not speaking out of turn here. In order to enhance the daytime Emmys commitment to diversity in all parts of our contest, beginning this year, judges will receive a questionnaire after the judging process is complete. They will be requested to answer questions regarding their gender, race, and location. Response is voluntary. Declining to participate in no way affects your participation as a judge or panel. So this is just the judging demographics. So let's see what else we go. So in order to be a judge, you have to basically submit your race and your gender. That seems to be the only thing I'm seeing, unless I'm missing. Oh, this is just the daytime Emmys. Let's see. Let's see. Emmy. Let's see. I don't see anything specifically from the Emmys, but it's definitely there in the Oscars. But still, the unions the unions. Hold on, I'm trying to see if there's actual. The Emmy Academy actively works with GLAAD, the gay lesbian lobby, to increase queer representation. So there's a lot of that. So in order to be included for the Emmys, in order to be included and recognized by the Academy, all these sort of things, you have to have these sort of LGBT narratives with you. Cameron says Hawley normally performs well when he operates in the realm of in his realm of no or in his wheelhouse. Yeah, Cameron, I can tell he obviously doesn't know what's going on here, because he's people in the know like this guy is like completely off the charts. I'm gonna send him a message on X, by the way, and maybe he'll reach out. I doubt, but I'm gonna send him a message because somebody needs to tell him, hey, dude, this is not right. So let's see. Let's go back to this. So for the Oscars, women, LGBTQ. The main storyline or subject matter has to be about women, racial, ethnic groups, LGBTQ, or people with cognitive disabilities. The theme or narrative of the film is centered on underrepresented groups. So you can have a general ensemble cast with a 30%, but then you also have to have a main storyline subject matter dealing with some of these. So this is why whenever you see the best picture and you're like, oh my gosh, they're also politically charged. Why aren't there just good stories in the best films anymore? Well, this is why, because they have to have these. And then your creative leadership and department heads. A film will achieve this standard by meeting the criteria in the following areas. At least 2 of the following creative leadership positions in department heads: casting director, cinematographer, composer, costume designer, blah, 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 blah. Must be someone from an underrepresented racial or ethnic group. Underrepresented groups must include women, racial. So it's just the other things. And then in other key roles. So this is a union. The Motion Picture Association of America, the recording industry, and then the Emmy. They're all unions. Sorry, I noticed that I wasn't sharing the screen when I was showing you this, but I want you guys you can come back to it. I want you guys to see that this is LGBTQ race diversity, or LGBTQ race and diversity, LGBTQ race and diversity. Standard audience development. To achieve a standard D, the film must meet the criterion. Director representation and marketing, publicity. So even in your marketing, your publicity, just everything has to include this LGBTQ diversity stuff. So it's not. I can't go there because I'm not. Okay, so that again. So Josh Hawley, he's like, are you going to hire more unions? It's very important that you hire more unions. Oh, also, why is all this LGBT stuff on your platform? The unions. Why aren't you hiring more jobs domestically? It's the unions. Josh Hawley, do you hear me? Like, you can't demand more union gigs and then be mad about the consequences of those union gigs. It just doesn't make any sense. You got to stop. Josh, give me a call. Fly me out to D.C. We'll have a very long, thorough conversation on why all this nonsense is happening in the Hollywood space. I think that would be great. I think it needs to happen. Because, I mean, to be honest, Josh Hawley, he probably doesn't even know he did, but he looked like a complete fool there. He looked like a complete fool. Like, he had no idea what is happening. And yeah, you had to know, like, Ted knew. Ted knew how, and he was just like, this guy's going to say this and look like an idiot before all my peers. Because none of the stuff he says is logical and makes cohesive sense. It doesn't make economic sense. It doesn't make any of that. So I'm going to make sure Senator Hawley is aware of that and whatnot. So, yeah. Anyway, what else is going on in the world, chat? I had to bring that up. I saw that today, and I thought I was like, I'm going to be speaking about this on stream today, because this is insanity. And so, let's see what's trending on Twitter, shall we? Let's see. Kamala Harris campaign account posts cryptic video teasing a February 5th announcement. Okay. Is she gonna run? Is she gonna run again? Of course she's gonna run again. What are we talking about? Way too online. The babysitter is weird. Project 2025 was real. Headquarters. Okay. All right, nobody cares. Nobody cares. What else is going on? Kid Rock is still trending. We talked about Kid Rock the other day. Oh, this is actually pretty important. This is amazing to me. So, Kid Rock concert is airing on TBN this Sunday. How is this okay? Relevant Magazine. Trinity Broadcasting Network is not just another Christian channel. It's the largest Christian television network in the world. For decades, TBN has been presented with itself as a ministry-first platform dedicated to preaching the gospel, elevating worship, and calling believers to holiness. It built an empire by drawing a firm line between Christian and secular. It's a problem. Warning viewers about the dangers of compromise with mainstream culture and positioning itself as a Christian-centered alternative to the moral chaos of mainstream entertainment. This is amazing. I know exactly where this is going. That history exactly why its programming decision this weekend deserves seriously scrutiny. Turning Point USA has announced an alternative concert to the Super Bowl halftime show. Got it. And then the event has been positioned as not as a worship gathering or spiritual experience, but as a cultural statement. One meant to contrast acceptable American values with what they believe. Kid Rock is not a Christian artist. His career has been built on explicit lyrics, sexual bravado, profanity, heavy drinking imagery, a proudly rebellious persona. For decades, he's embodied exactly the kind of secular culture TBN routinely warns his viewers against. I saw this trending on Twitter. I thought this is really crazy because I think I saw a friend on Facebook post it, and he was just laughing at it. And I said, well, wait till the guy who wrote this article learns about the prosperity, health, and wealth stuff that they do on TBN. Boy, then this guy's really going to be upset. wait till this guy learns about all the sexual scandals that TBN has had over the past, 50 years. Cameron says, do you think there are uber woke Soros-like figures pumping tons of money into movie houses so they can keep making movies and shows nobody wants to watch? I promise you, Cameron, I know this very specifically, that every single element of the entertainment industry is funded by Soros and Epstein type underground organizations. Every single part. And I would say that even a lot of Christian entertainment organizations are funded knowingly or unknowingly by Soros or money too. So for sure that's true. I don't think the filmmakers are exactly aware of it. I think they're just happy to get big checks written. But if you think about it, Sony Pictures, Sony Pictures is not a Christian organization. Lionsgate is not a Christian organization. All these organizations are not Christian organizations, but they're the requirement that's required for they're the distribution vehicle for the films through major channels. So basically, Sony and Lionsgate, these organizations that use that buy Christian films and promote and distribute them and make them a success are liberal organizations. So there isn't a lot of freedom for Christian artists to be able to really make great stories and to tell the stories that they want to do, because everything is so tightly under the reins and the chains of these leftist organizations. There's just a lot that can be said on that. And I could say a lot more, but there's just a lot that can be said about that, and I'll keep it there. I do think a lot of Christian artists just they either don't know any better or don't have other options. So it's like, go drive an Uber or make a third-rate film, because that's what God has gifted you and created you to do. and take the money from the Egyptians. But even though your final product is going to be pretty much nonsense. So that's my thought on that. So again, but I mean, like TBN, like this guy complaining about Kid Rock being on a Christian. Who is this guy, by the way? Who is this guy? Because Cameron Strang, author. It's not gonna let me go to a bio of all Cameron Strang's. Cameron Strang is the founder. He's the founder of Relevant Media. Okay. I'm sure if we go through this, he doesn't write that very often. In New York fashion, it's deeper than Instagram. Interesting. Okay, so I mean, you have this guy. He's complaining about the Kid Rock show, and look, here's the thing: TBN has long been trying to basically sever its Christian entertainment roots, if you can call it Christian entertainment roots. I think they've long been trying to sever their ties from being strictly faith-based. That's why they did the deal with Dr. Phil. It ended terribly. Lots of money lost. Dr. Phil filing in bankruptcy. A lot of back and forth. I read the court documents. Don't remember enough or understand enough to be able to properly do commentary on it. There's a lot of back and forth between Dr. Phil and TBN. A lot of stuff went sideways and went really nuts. And so TBN's been really trying to kind of get outside of the Christian bubble they've created for themselves for a while. So it doesn't surprise me that they're going to have Kid Rock. They're going to broadcast this Turning Point platform. I just think it's silly to argue over, because if you know the history of TBN, you'd go, oh yeah, that sounds about right. But also, too, the secular sacred divide is stupid. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how mature Kid Rock's performances at the Super Bowl thing. So I'm curious to see that. So anyway, yeah, so you know what, I think that about does it for today's show. I thank everybody for joining me. If you're watching and you haven't followed me on YouTube or Kick or Rumble, please feel free to do that. Look forward to streaming probably again on Friday, maybe Friday. I don't know. I will see if there's a big news story. I could stream it at a moment's notice. But thanks everybody for joining, and hope you have a good day.